There is this subtle, this really quiet shift we cross in life, and nobody really talks about it until you find yourself right on the other side of it.
Yeah, that is so true. It just creeps up on you.
It really does. It is that exact moment when standing up from a chair, something we do without thinking quietly, shifts from being a total reflex into a conscious physical effort.
Right. It becomes a task.
Exactly. You are sitting there, you decide to stand, and suddenly you notice you are rocking your body forward a couple of times, like you are trying to build speed.
Yes, that little rocking motion.
Oh,
Or reaching out for the armrests.
right. You find your hands pushing down hard, forcing your upper body to help with a job your legs used to handle flawlessly on their own.
Yeah.
I watch my parents do this, and I always wonder, like, when did that change?
And the sneaky part is how easily we excuse it away the first few times. Many people at this age tell themselves, well, the couch is just unusually deep today.
Oh, absolutely. Or they say their legs are just tired from a long week.
Exactly. We blame the furniture. We say modern chairs are just poorly designed. We blame everything except our own body mechanics.
Yeah, and before you know it, you are catching yourself scanning a room for the higher chairs.
Mapping out the safe spots.
Right. Or actively avoiding that one really low, soft couch in your friend's living room. And you do not even fully admit to yourself why you are doing it.
It is a quiet fear. So many seniors deal with this alone. They feel this sudden loss of total independence, and they just do not talk about it.
And adult children do not always get it. We rush them. We say, come on, let's go. But they are silently trying to gather the strength to just get out of the seat.
It is really lonely. People ignore these early body signals for years. They wait until there is a major crisis or a fall to even bring it up with the doctor.
Well, our goal today is to really unpack this, to look at what is actually happening inside your muscles and your nerves the moment you rise from a seat.
It is such a vital topic.
Because it is not just about getting off a couch, right? This single everyday movement is treated as a huge predictor for long-term health.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
To really grasp it, we have to respect the physical demand of the movement itself. Standing up from a seated position takes a massive amount of sudden power.
Like more than we realize.
Much more. You are starting from a dead stop. You have zero forward motion to borrow.
Right, you are just totally still.
Exactly. And your hips and knees are bent deep. So to overcome gravity, you are demanding maximum sudden power from your leg muscles all at the same time.
Wow, so it is actually harder than just walking.
Oh, far harder. The raw power needed is much higher than what you need for a normal walk.
It makes me think of a rocket launch.
Oh, I like that. How so?
Well, you have the rocket, right, and you need this huge burst of energy just to get off the launch pad. But as we get older, we hear a lot about muscle loss.
Yes, the fading of muscle tissue.
Right, so if the raw muscle mass the size of your legs is the fuel tank, then muscle loss means that fuel tank is getting slightly smaller over the years.
That is a great way to picture it. But there is a second part to that rocket.
The ignition system.
Exactly. The brain-to-body connection. The speed at which your brain can send a spark down your spine to fire those muscles.
So it does not matter if you have enough fuel in the tank if the spark plug is slow.
You hit the nail on the head. You are not getting off the launch pad smoothly if the ignition is lagging. And that decline actually starts quietly in our 40s, not our 70s.
Wait, really? Our 40s?
Yes, we are not just losing raw muscle size. We are losing the fast nerve signals. The brain is literally changing the wiring.
So the brain unplugs the wires. Why would it do that?
Well, your brain constantly watches what you do. If you stop demanding sudden, hard bursts of power from your body, the brain adapts. It prunes the connections to your quick power muscles.
Just to save energy.
Exactly. The signal path breaks down before the muscle itself even shrinks.
Oh, wow. So what we are actually looking at is muscle quality, not just muscle size.
Right. Two people can have the exact same muscle size, the exact same amount of fuel in the tank, but their muscle quality can be completely different.
Because one person has a fast spark and the other has a slow spark.
Exactly. One person's nervous system delivers a lightning-fast signal that wakes up every muscle fiber instantly.
And the other person.
Their system hesitates, the signal fires out of sync.
And that hesitation, that slow spark, is what turns a mindless habit into a real effort.
You got it. That is why you rock forward. You rock forward to fake that sudden energy because your brain cannot generate the spark from a dead stop.
That makes so much sense. So every single time you get out of a car or stand up from the dinner table, you are either training that spark or losing it.
It is a constant loop. You're either challenging those nerve pathways to stay sharp or you're relying on rocking and letting the pathways slowly fade away.
It is wild to think about it as a daily choice.
It really is. And this specific wiring issue is why major wellness groups use a very simple test to check your aging progress.
Oh, the chair test.
Yes, the 5-time chair test. They ask you to stand up from a seated position 5 times in a row as fast as you can.
Without using your hands, right? Arms folded.
Exactly. Arms crossed over the chest. The speed and smoothness of this one single test strongly predict your total lower body strength.
Just from standing up 5 times.
Yes, it checks the health of your brain signals, your balance, and your future risk of falling. It is a highly accurate window into your long-term physical freedom.
But wait, let me ask you about something that always confuses me.
Yeah, go ahead.
What about someone who is super active? Say, my mom. She walks 3 miles around her neighborhood every single morning.
That is wonderful for her heart.
It is. And she spends hours pulling weeds in the garden. She has incredible stamina, but she still struggles to get out of my low dining chairs. How does that make sense?
It is a great question, and it frustrates so many adult children. Walking and gardening are amazing for heart health and slow muscle endurance.
Okay, so she has the endurance.
Right, but walking is basically a process of controlled falling.
Controlled falling? What do you mean?
Think about it. You lean forward, gravity pulls you, and your leg swings out to catch you. You are using momentum and the natural stretch of your tendons.
Oh, I see. You just keep the motion going.
Exactly. Steady, repeated movements do not train sudden power. You can have massive amounts of stamina, but still have profound weakness in your quick power muscles.
Because you never ask the engine to start from a dead stop.
Precisely. The ignition gets rusty.
So even if you walk every day, this specific spark can still fade. But the good news here is that we can change this, right?
Oh, absolutely. The brain is highly plastic. It can rewire itself.
Even at like 75 or 80.
Yes, at almost any age. Because we are dealing largely with nerve signals, the system responds beautifully to targeted, steady practice.
Okay, so how do we fix it? How do we rebuild that spark?
Well, there is a clear blueprint to rewire this ability. And the very first step is simple. Deliberately practicing the sit-to-stand movement.
Like as an actual exercise.
Exactly. Not just as a daily task, but as a focused drill. You sit on the edge of a firm chair, brace your core, drive through your heels to stand, and lower yourself slowly.
I feel like people might push back on that. Like if my dad has to use his hands to push off the armrests, he feels like he is failing.
I hear that from so many seniors. There's a real shame there.
Yeah, they feel embarrassed. They think if they cannot do it perfectly without hands, they should not practice it at all.
But seeing hand use as a failure is just wrong. Using the armrests is just a safe starting point.
It takes the fear away, right?
Exactly. It lets you practice the movement without overwhelming your brain or your joints.
So it is okay to use your hands.
Very okay.
Yeah.
The only danger is permanent reliance. If you always use your arms heavily, your legs never feel the tension they need to adapt.
So you just slowly use the hands less and less.
Yes. Over a period of weeks, you let the legs take more of the load. That is how you bridge the gap.
That reminds me of a really powerful story about a woman named Sarah.
Oh, the reading chair story. I love that one.
Yeah. She was in her early 60s, and she noticed she had to push off the plush arms of her favorite reading chair every evening.
And at first, she just blamed the thick cushions, right?
Exactly. But then the reality hit her. She caught herself doing the exact same thing on a firm wooden chair at a restaurant.
That is always a tough moment of self-discovery.
It is. But instead of just avoiding low chairs, she started using her own dining chair to do sets of slow, controlled stands.
Just practicing the movement.
Yeah. For the first few weeks, she kept her hands firmly on the armrests. She just focused on the body mechanics.
Feeling the muscles work.
Right. And by week 6, she was only using her fingertips for balance. Within 2 months, the hands were gone completely.
That is the perfect example. Sarah's progress shows that the nervous system can be retuned quite rapidly when you give it the right signal.
And it was just small, daily practice.
Yes. And alongside that practice, there is another crucial step. The balance pause.
The balance pause. What is that?
When you reach the top of the standing position, you deliberately freeze for 1 to 2 full seconds before taking your first step.
Oh, like you do not just stand and immediately walk away.
Exactly. Do not rush it.
Why is that pause so important? Is it just to catch your breath?
No, it is deeply physical. You are waiting for the pressure sensors in your neck to adjust your blood flow.
To make sure your brain gets enough oxygen.
Right. After that sudden change in height, the blood pressure needs a second to catch up.
That makes sense.
And at the same time, the fluid in your inner ear needs a fraction of a second to map out your new vertical space.
Oh, wow. So your inner ear balance is resetting.
Yes. Rushing that exact moment is when most unsteady steps happen. You are asking your body to move before its navigation system is fully awake.
That is such a simple, gentle change. Just pause for 2 seconds.
It changes everything. Another gentle habit is breaking up prolonged sitting. If you sit for hours, the tissue around your joints gets stiff.
And the nerve signals go to sleep.
Exactly. Standing up briefly every 30 to 60 minutes keeps those pathways primed and ready.
Okay, so we have the sit to stand practice, the balance pause, and standing up often. Are there any other movements that help?
Yes, some simple, targeted movements that do not require a gym, like seated leg kicks.
Just straightening your leg while sitting?
Right. It isolates the front thigh muscles. Or standing hip kicks, where you lift the leg backward to train the glutes.
Oh, I see. And what about the core?
Seated marches are great for that. Lifting your knees while sitting keeps the core stable. You need that strong core to transfer power from your legs to your upper body.
Okay, so we are rebuilding the body, but what about the room around us?
Environment is huge. The physics of chair height matter. A chair that sits just 2 inches lower than standard makes the knee work so much harder.
So if someone is trying to rebuild their strength, they should use slightly higher, firmer chairs at home.
Yes, it removes unnecessary friction. Set yourself up for success.
And footwear plays into that too, right? You cannot launch a rocket from a wobbly pad.
Exactly. Trying to stand up from a low chair while wearing loose, floppy slippers is so hard.
Because your feet are just sliding around.
Yes. Your ankle muscles have to work overtime just to grip the floor. A supportive shoe with a firm sole lets you push power directly into the ground.
That connects perfectly to the story of Robert.
Ah, yes. Robert had a really rough time after his knee surgery.
Right. He was in his early 70s, had a knee replacement, and the sheer fear of hurting that joint made him shrink his whole world.
That is a very common reaction. Age is often seen as a weakness, and surgery just adds to the fear.
He had mentally mapped out the highest, firmest chairs in his house. He completely avoided anything else. Standing up was something he actively braced for.
He had outsourced his movement to the layout of his house.
Exactly. But his comeback started remarkably small. He did not jump into heavy squats. He just began with simple seated leg kicks.
Never pushing into pain, right?
Never. Just focusing on finding that brain-to-body link again. And over 10 weeks of steady, gentle stimulus, the nerve pathways grew strong.
And the muscle tissue adapted.
Yeah. The bracing feeling dissolved, and he stopped mapping out the furniture. He reclaimed his home.
That is the beauty of it. Robert's movement created the physical tension needed for change. But we have to talk about the other half of the equation.
Right, the fuel. Because you can practice all day, but if your body lacks the raw materials to rebuild, you are just spinning your wheels.
Exactly. The effort stalls out completely without the right food foundation.
Which brings us to protein pacing.
Yes. The way our body handles protein is totally different from fats or carbs. We can store fat for later, but we do not store extra protein.
Oh, so we cannot just save it up.
No. If you do not eat a steady stream of protein and your body needs it for vital repairs, it will literally harvest it from your own leg muscles.
Wait, it eats its own muscle?
Yes. And to trigger the muscle building state, you have to hit a specific threshold of key building blocks in your blood.
So what happens if someone just has, like, a tiny piece of toast for breakfast, a small salad for lunch, and then a massive steak for dinner?
They are severely shortchanging their recovery. That huge influx at dinner does not fix the fact that they spent the first 12 hours of the day in a muscle-wasting state.
Oh, wow. It is exactly like watering a dry garden bed.
I love that analogy. Explain that.
Well, if you take a hose and set it to a slow, steady sprinkle all day, the soil absorbs it deeply. The roots actually use the moisture.
Because it is a steady supply.
Right. But if you take a massive 5-gallon bucket and dump it all at once, which is the giant steak dinner, the soil cannot absorb it at that rate. Most of it just runs off as waste.
That is exactly how protein works. Spreading it evenly across 3 or 4 meals guarantees that you stay in that muscle-building state.
So what are some easy foods to help with this? We do not want things that are overly complicated.
Keep it simple. Eggs are fantastic. They offer a complete protein profile that is very easy to absorb.
And Greek yogurt.
Yes, Greek yogurt gives you dense protein and the calcium you need for bone strength.
And I know salmon is great too, right?
Oh, absolutely. Fatty fish like salmon give you the protein, plus omega-3 fats, which directly calm joint swelling and pain.
What about plant-based options?
Lentils and beans are perfect. They give you the protein and the fiber you need to keep blood sugar stable. Even plain oatmeal with some walnuts and yogurt works beautifully.
Okay, so that is the good stuff to add. But what should we watch out for? What actually blocks the healing?
This is crucial. Highly processed snacks, heavy added sugars, and routine alcohol do not just add empty calories. They cause deep system-wide swelling.
Like inflammation.
Exactly. That inflammation actively blocks the cellular signals that repair muscle.
So you could be eating the protein and doing the chair stands, but the sugar and alcohol build a chemical roadblock.
Yes, they prevent the raw materials from actually turning into new muscle tissue.
It is so wild how the physical movement, the brain signals, and the body chemistry all talk to each other.
It is all one big connected system. Just look at Jennifer's story.
Oh yeah, Jennifer. She was in her late 50s, right? And she felt totally overwhelmed by the idea of changing her whole life.
Many people feel that way. It feels like too much work.
But she chose to do just two tiny things. She committed to the deliberate 2-second balance pause every time she stood up.
A simple, quiet moment.
And she started protein pacing, just making sure she had 25 grams of protein at breakfast and lunch.
And what happened?
Within 30 days, she felt a real noticeable increase in her steadiness.
I bet she was thrilled.
She was. But the best part wasn't just the physical stability, it was the mental relief.
The relief of understanding why it was happening.
Exactly. Once she realized she wasn't just mysteriously getting old, but dealing with a specific fixable drop in nerve signals and protein, her quiet anxiety vanished. She had the working manual for her own body.
That is the true power of this. Recognizing these mechanics fundamentally changes how you view your daily life. Health is not a fixed state. It is a direction you choose daily.
Every single day, it changes how I look at my own parents. Whether you are actively trying to stay strong yourself, or you are watching a parent struggle to navigate a low couch at a family party, understanding the why replaces frustration with real empathy.
Empathy is exactly right. How you sit, how you pause, how you fuel your system. These are not just boring details. They are the true foundation of your lifelong physical freedom.
It is a continuous, real-time conversation with your own nervous system.
It truly is.
And that brings up a final, really fascinating thought to chew on.
What is that?
Well, if this nerve spark requires such a massive, clear signal from the brain, what happens when we divide the brain's focus?
Oh, that is a great question.
Right. It is really fascinating to think about what happens when we divide our attention. If you ask someone to solve a math problem out loud while they stand up from a chair, their brain gets split.
The physical spark slows down dramatically.
Exactly. The movement becomes shaky and messy. It makes you wonder how much of what we see as purely physical aging is actually just our brain being overloaded.
Are our bodies failing? Or is our mental processor just too busy to send a clear signal?
Exactly. Something to really think about the next time you stand up.
These thoughts, these questions, they don't have to stop here. Wellness Geek Seniors has many more podcasts and videos just like this one. Subscribe to the channel and explore other episodes. They all flow the same gentle way. If this podcast felt genuinely useful to you, share it with even one person in your life. That one share can bring a real change in someone's life, and it helps Wellness Geek Seniors reach more people who truly need this. If this brought you real value, look for the Join button right next to the Wellness Geek Seniors logo below this video. Click it and become a member of the Wellness Support Circle. Your support helps honest health awareness reach thousands who are silently struggling. Wellness Geek Seniors moves forward because of you. Thank you so much from the heart for being here.